1. To hear important instructions, press 2.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Nobody take no cornbread from me.
Okay, we're live, y'all. Testing 1, 2, 3.
start your show now, press 1.
Since it appears you're calling back into a live show, we are reconnecting you now.
We're going to need a new system quicker than I thought. Hey! Yeah, we are. We're going to need a new system quicker than I thought. We're going to need a new service. All right, people, how you doing? My name is Tim Black. Welcome to the Tim Black Show. Glad you could all be here. Welcome people on YouTube and on Facebook in the house. We are doing it live, y'all. Doing it live. Let me bring that mic in a little bit. What's going on? You guys ready for Freedom Friday show? Let me put the phone number up here real quick. I hope that it's working, because no guarantees. No guarantees at all, man. Nah, there's no guarantee that this system's working. I don't know till I do the show and how it go. I have very little faith in the system, whether it be our election system, our political system, or our phone system. Let me try 503 and see if 503 can even hear me out here. Hey, 503, you're live on Freedom Friday. Can you hear me through the phone?
Hello.
Hey, can you hear me through the phone?
I can hear you.
Oh, perfect. Who's this?
This is Sally in Portland.
Hey, Sally, how you doing, sister? Thank you. I needed to know.
Hi, Tim. My God, am I the first one?
Yeah, well, yeah. I'll let you go ahead and make your comment now before we go to the show, because I wanted to make sure the phones were working.
Oh, okay. Do you want me to give my comment?
Sure, go right ahead. It's cool.
Okay, Tim. Okay. Here we are again, Tim. Another week. We still have no light at the top, and that's why I say stop looking there. Not this time, anyway. No matter which of these two guys win, they won't be doing much for the rest of us. With Trump, we're going to be jerked further and harder to the right. With Biden, we will be more gently pulled over there. But we're going there. Biden will put back all that Trump has canceled, that Obama did, and we'll feel like we're gaining. But we won't. Trump will make sure his rich friends are taken care of, and Biden will make sure nothing basically changes there, too. However, if it is Biden, he will use all the terrible of Trump to tell us that we're so far in trouble, we're going to have to make tough choices, and he'll be looking at our entitlements, the ones we paid for. His record, he keeps telling us to look at that, shows he has in the past, and he will again look at Social Security and Medicare, and much that has helped those in need, but use the pandemic and Trump to justify the cuts this time. He'll say we have to negotiate with the Republicans, and we can't afford Medicare for all. But like we all know, Trump has to go. If Biden gets there, we have to hold him accountable. Don't shut up. Keep speaking up. Mainstream media will continue to push the propaganda and tell us all we got to do is just fall in line. They're owned by the rich. And why does the guy who owns Amazon need to own the Washington Post or the other four that own the media? News is not making them money, and it shouldn't if it's done correctly. It gives them additional power to influence with content and control and keep the regulations down and employee benefits limited. But that's a long line, and we're not gaining. They are. Turn on independent media and make it grow. We're on a class war now. We're tired and we're hungry, not just for food, but for justice. We no longer want the crumbs. That's why I keep telling us, look down ticket. We have to elect more progressives in city, county and state offices. Vote smart. Sure, it's going to take more than one election, but from there we're going to push them up. We're going to build those names. It is at the state level our numbers and movement have the most power. States make changes faster than the feds anyway. Look at all the cities in the states that have raised the minimum wage, and some to $15 an hour. And the feds, they're still at 7.25. States have decriminalized marijuana, but the feds still has it at the high list of illegal drugs. And many states have mail-in ballots, but the feds to change your local police and prosecuting attorneys and the judges. They need to work to reform the police and negotiate with their unions, budget, and prosecutors for fair treatment of all the citizens, and stop using the military to train and end racism in its ranks. Make known that any person who dies in police custody, that all officers involved will be investigated regardless by independent authorities immediately, and charges will be brought. Our military are trained that who's on the other side of their weapon is the enemy, and even then, they're not always right. But arresting or detaining a fellow citizen is not an enemy. Our police need trained more by social workers than by former military personnel. And stop using their equipment that leaves them only to salivate to use it. And the racism has to be addressed. Writing a bad check is not a death warrant any more than stealing a car radio. Stop issuing the deadly force. We're entitled to our day in court. Now, that's not always fair either. A poor white guy might get to court. Or your race or your gender, the legal system is not going to be fair unless you have the money for a good attorney. Rich seldom go to jail. Or if they do, it's only for a couple of weeks. But the poor will go for years. Public defenders just negotiate a lesser sentence, and they don't really even care if you're innocent. Take it. It's the best you're going to get. And off you go to jail. And from there, you're going to live with the record. The corruption is at all levels, and we have to rid ourselves of it. Our movement has to stay strong, and it has to grow. We do not have the money, but we do have the numbers. That's what our protests are showing. Our movement can be a force and get better people elected. And once we get them elected, we have to stay with them and let them know we are there. Make them feel we have the force behind them, and they have to speak out. Also, that we're expecting much from them, and for sure we want to see them working and trying. That is true of those we get to the federal level. They have to work, and we have to watch, and we have to let them know that as long as they're working for us and our planet, we're there. But our votes will not be if they're not. No one's entitled to our votes. They have to earn them, and then they got to work to keep them. Hold them accountable. Way too often, once they get there, they get overtaken by or too comfortable with those basking in the cream at the top that just work for their donors and their own self-rich interests. So finally, Tim, we have to keep churning down there at the bottom. Like Bernie said, from the bottom up, not the top down. We have to keep churning and churning to make our own butter until we get more to the top. And once we get there, that cream either becomes part of our butter or we're going to skim them off. So vote that down ballot. Vote for good people in your city, county, and state office. Butter there. And Tim, you know where that butter is best? On good, warm cornbread. They ain't going to keep trying to take our cornbread, and we're going to butter it and make it rich for us. Keep up the fight. Don't give up. Organize. Protest. And be safe. I love you, Tim, and all your listeners.
Thank you, Sally, for that amazing opening. Wow. Wow, that's what I'm talking about. Welcome back to the show, Sally. Fantastic. What a way to start the show, guys. Yeah, I planned it. This is well planned out. Have a phone call to start the show off, switch it up. You never know what's going to happen on the Tim Black Show, right? So, look, guys, hey. Sally, thank you for that phone call. Amazing phone call. Great points made there. And with that, we will start the show. Wow, guys, wow. Quick announcement. We have begun to do our background checks, our investigation in order to secure a real phone system, an in-house phone system, no internet-based phone system. So we're doing our discovery right now, doing our investigation, looking at the different options that are available. And I'm going to be, announcing what we're doing and seeing if people can help out as we try to get a system that's finally something we can control ourselves in-house with a switchboard, that we won't have to rely on external software on the internet. That's not free, but not great. So, yeah, so we're going to do that, guys. We're going to do that. And I think it's, I've been at this 7 years since 2012. I think I started the phone calls like 2013. So, yeah, it's about time. I think we've proved our staying power. So we're going to do that. All right. Well, this is the monologue to the Freedom Friday show. The phone number is 319-527-6212. Hopefully we won't have too much problems with the phone lines. Heard a little in and out, but for the most part, we got like 90% of that call. That was good. What we will do now is what I do customarily is I go through a few news articles. And I give you the news, bring you up to speed. Some people are come here and they say, hey, we got to know what's going on in the world first. And then we go to phone calls for the remaining of the show as long as we can go. So let's do that, guys. I want to start off, bear with me, guys, because I'm not going to spend that much time on any given story because we got so much to get to. We did not have a show yesterday, but I did do a special Coffee with Tim Black earlier today where I discussed the new Dave Chappelle special, 846. Now, 846 is available on my YouTube channel. Please go check it out. 846, I did a wrap-up of Dave Chappelle's groundbreaking special, comedy special, which to me wasn't really comedy, but it was special. So go check that out on my YouTube channel. And other than that, this is what we got. Let's start with Minneapolis. Is that Minneapolis? Booyaka. Let's start with Minneapolis. Now, this is the first announcement, right? So, we all know Minneapolis, Minnesota is the location where George Floyd had his life snatched away by Derek Chauvin and the other three cops who were also accomplices in the murder of George Floyd. We know that's the epicenter of the match that was lit. People finally said, you know what, that's it. All across the world, across the United States, every state, some form of action, real action to the streets commenced after that horrifying killing that we saw. I was watching a little bit of Fallout earlier today where the commentator for CNN wouldn't even call it a killing. He wouldn't call it a killing. He wouldn't call it a murder. He said where George Floyd lost his life. Yeah. It's a that son of a, that dirty bastard wouldn't even say George, he wouldn't even say the man was killed. I mean, I prefer to call it a lynching. But this scumbag couldn't even say murdered. He couldn't even say killed. He said he lost his life. That's why you don't watch that shit, right? So Minneapolis, Minnesota, back to that. Something historic was happening in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And we saw that the citizens there they was telling their mayor they wanted to abolish the police. And the mayor's response was, I can't abolish the police. I can't abolish the police. Well, Minneapolis takes steps towards abolishing police. Minneapolis City Council members took a first step today toward changing the city charter to allow for abolishing the police. And they want to replace it with something else. They want to abolish the police and replace it with something else. 5 of the 12 council members said Friday that they'll formally introduce a proposal letter later this month to remove the charter's requirement that the city maintain a police department and fund a minimum number of officers. Voters would have to approve the change if the proposal makes it onto the November ballot. The Star Tribune reports the announcement came as the council members face increased pressure to further define what they meant when the majority of them pledged to eliminate the Minneapolis Police Department. So now what's having to happen is, so there's been a lot of talk and people have been very angry and upset, and they deserve that, and they should be angry and upset. But now it's going to take smarter people with really big ideas and a follow-through to come up with what this new world is going to look like. Because there are people in Minneapolis that got to live in Minneapolis. And those people that live there are going to want to know what's next. What are you doing? What's the next step? You know, I tried to have this conversation on Twitter with some people that didn't like it, that I was having this conversation. They forgot that for the better part of a decade, I've been fighting for police to be held accountable. They did not give a flying fuck what I've done. They just want to keep the word abolished. But to the people in Minneapolis, if they want to actually get this done, they're going to have to come up with concrete terms. And like I said, at the end of the day, we're trying to fix this shit. We want to make this a better. Everyone wants their lives to be better in Minneapolis, New York City, Washington, D.C., wherever you live. That's what people want. Cities all across this country want their lives to be better. It's not just a chant. It's not just a buzzword. It's about what people think of when they say defund. And here in Minneapolis, the council members who are trying to get this done are saying, what are we going to replace it with? So their thing is, I think they're morphing it into replace the police. Replace them. Now, that could mean a lot of different things, too. Man, look, there's no magical remedy for this. It's new terrain. Don't shoot messengers. Don't shoot your allies. Don't shoot your compatriots. Minneapolis, Minnesota is blazing the trail with this. But there have been other cities as well. I heard New Jersey, Camden, New Jersey is doing something too. It's happening, okay? We have to be more definitive about what we mean by that, because we have people, we have seniors to young people all across the spectrum who are nervous about what this new world will bring. Everyone's not an activist. But Councilmember Jeremiah Ellison said he still expects to spend a year seeking feedback from the community about how to change the department. See, now they're using change the department. Change the police. He fears that if we don't remove the charter provision, it will hamper those efforts. He said removing the language alone will not eliminate the department. So just taking it off the charter means that it doesn't mean there won't be any police, which is the first thing that scares the hell out of people. Once again, another conversation people don't want to have. I know we've had this conversation on this channel. We've talked about what we actually want to get done and what does that look like. But there's a loud minority out there that just wants to kill it all. And the problem is people with 75-year-old grandmas or 85-year-old grandmas or, hell, 45-year-old grandmas are wondering, what does that look like? There's no one to call for anything? What does that mean? What do you mean? People are worried. They have a right to be. They live there. Can't just say that they're bad faith actors because they don't understand, because they're not on Twitter with you. You just can't just say they're no good. They're people that pay bills like you. So some business groups and Mayor Jacob Frey have said they prefer changing the department over eliminating it completely. Of course they do. Look, I'm a person that wants the police to be changed catastrophically. I think you got to destroy this racist bullshit, white supremacist, slave-catching based organization. And I still understand, because I talk to so many people, I know we got to be careful about how we message it. You know, if you just say, I want to defund cars, People be like, what are you talking about? You want to defund the subway system? No, we need to get a new subway system. Well, say that if that's what you mean. You want a new subway system. Or say you want to start flying spaceships. But you got messaging matters, and I know it's tedious. And hey, man, who am I to say? It's just an opinion. But Minneapolis, Minnesota is blazing the path forward. And if it could happen anywhere, it can happen there. And these places serve as boilerplates to how to get it done. So, as someone who had Michael A. Wood, former Baltimore police officer and veteran of Afghanistan, on this channel several times with long-form videos on the subject of abolishing the police and changing, to us it was changing policing, totally changing, revamping how policing is done. It ain't new. People have been talking about this shit for decades, if not longer, on how to revamp the police. And we always said, police had too many jobs. The expertise were too varied. People didn't get the proper training in other countries. Some police cadets would be in training for 2 to 3 years. In America, it's only a mere 20 weeks or so. I mean, we don't even train people the same length of time that they get in other countries, not to mention the psych evaluations are the last step in the police hiring process when they should be the first step. Make sure we even need to invest in this guy. We don't need the people that were picked last for a PE class who got a chip on their shoulder. Nor do we need people who are predetermined or preconditioned to be bigots and racist or have affiliations with cops, with Ku Klux Klan or any white supremacist group or any hate group for that matter. So these are things that matter. My hat's off to the protesters in Minneapolis, Minnesota, as well as the council members who apparently, I'm not co-signing, but apparently are going in the right direction. And in order to continue that, I think it's going to be up to us in independent media and beyond to get the messaging right so that it can be more attractive and palatable to the masses of people in order to get this done. Right now, we got the wind at our backs. Let's use it. Let's be smart. This is our moment. All right. Speaking of moments, I want to go to this now because this is an update. This is an update, folks. All right. Everyone remembers the story of the young Breonna Taylor whose life was snuffed out. She was murdered, killed. She didn't lose her life. You know, that really pisses me off, guys. I'm sorry, guys. Everybody. So I saw this commentator on CNN. He was interviewing Don Lemon, and Don Lemon got interviewed because of the Dave Chappelle special that you're going to watch later this weekend if you haven't already watched it, right? Okay. So it was a young lady and a young man, not that young, but a little bit around my age, maybe a little bit older, maybe a little bit younger, I don't know. But they're interviewing Don Lemon, and this guy said George Floyd had lost his life. What kind of mediocre, limp-wristed, pathetic, cowardly language is that for someone who had their life taken away, whose life was stolen, who was murdered and killed? No one loses their life. You could die of natural causes, or you could be killed. Some people are murdered. Killed, to me, is an accident. Murdered is someone took your life intentionally. There are variations of having your life taken. You could be lynched, stoned, shot. But at the end of the day, it's murder, killed, homicide. Breonna Taylor, and the reason why I'm upset now is because I'm thinking about Breonna Taylor and the type of limp-wristed, cowardly, punk-ass language they would use for her. Breonna Taylor was murdered by the Louisville Police Department. They're in Kentucky. She was shot at least 8 times. At least 8 times. At least 8 times in her own fucking bed by the police department. Now, let me give you the good news. You want the good news or the bad news first? We got good news and we got bad news. Which one you want, guys? Well, considering, let's go with the bad news, okay? Louisville police released a incident report regarding the murder of Breonna Taylor, the killing of Breonna Taylor, and it lists her injuries as none. I repeat, the Louisville Police Department releases a report on the injuries of Breonna Taylor, an incident report, and in that incident report, her injuries are listed as none. Nothing to see here. Nothing happened. You ask me if I want to abolish the police? I don't know. Do I hedge or something when I discuss these things? Is that not forceful enough for you? I don't dig in deep enough? These motherfuckers don't even want to acknowledge that she was shot 8 times. The police report, the incident report, is blank other than her name and date. And social. Police in Louisville, Kentucky released a nearly blank incident report Wednesday from the night Breonna Taylor was fatally shot in her own apartment by officers. Despite the fact that the 26-year-old EMT was shot at least 8 times during a no-knock search, they still listed Taylor's injuries as none. Police also checked no next to the box that says forced entry. On the door, you can see they used a battle ram to gain entry to the home. The boyfriend calls the police saying someone's breaking in the house. Then he fires a shot. They return 20 more, at least 20 shots in throughout the apartment, 8 of them hitting Breonna Taylor. At least 8. And these officers lie and say they knocked and asked for entry. Then why did you have a battle ram? And then why did the boyfriend call you if he knew it was you at the door? They say they announced themselves, Johnson. When the officers were given the opportunity to explain how the fatal events of that night unfolded, under the report's notes narrative section, they wrote only PIU investigation. That means Public Integrity Unit investigation. The unit is responsible for monitoring or conducting criminal investigations of department members, including all officer-involved shootings and in-custody deaths. Louisville Mayor Greg Fisher said this. He said, "It's issues like these that erode the public confidence in Louisville Police Department and its ability to do its job." He apologized to the family of Taylor for causing them further pain. Oh, you mean further pain that your department, your police department won't even acknowledge that they shot this woman in her own bed? That they won't even acknowledge the circumstances of which they did that shooting? That they did basically, if not for it coming out, it basically didn't happen, Johnson. So that's the bad news. The bad news is that the Louisville Police Department should be first up on the list. First of the first tier list of police departments that need to go. So damn right I support abolishing it, but abolishing it means what? What? Someone breaks in your home, you need someone to call. You can't call Roto-Rooter. Can't call your plumber. Got to call someone. Everybody's not as quick with the guns, self-defense as you are, sir. So people are going to be worried. So I say we got to replace this shit. Fix it. But that's crazy talk. because we're not leaders, thought leaders. We are repeaters and followers. We got to be thought leaders. Sometimes we ain't going to be popular, but as long as we have our hearts in the right place, then our thoughts matter and our thoughts should be considered. So anyway, that's the bad news. You want to hear the good news? Well, there's really no good news. There's some better news. Better than that shit that doesn't acknowledge that they took a 26-year-old woman's life for no reason, no justifiable reason at all. But this did happen. Louisville City Council unanimously passes the Breonna law. Man, they passed the Breonna law, y'all. This is better. This is better. It's a law to ban no-knock warrants. All 26 members of the Louisville Metro Council voted on Thursday to pass a ban on no-knock warrants. This measure is known as the Breonna Law. Of course, named after the EMT who was murdered in her own home as the police raided her apartment using a no-knock warrant that they say they didn't even use. But we got a law named after her that abolishes the practice. Wonder why we don't trust cops. I can't figure out why we don't trust cops and police departments. The unanimously passed ordinance, which still needs to be approved by the mayor, and it better be approved by the mayor too. Oh, it better be approved by the mayor. It bans any search warrant that does not require police to announce themselves and their purpose at the premises. It requires any Louisville Metro Police Department or Metro law enforcement to knock and wait a minimum of 15 seconds for a response. 15 seconds, that's all? 15 seconds, that's all? I could be in the bathroom dropping off some books. Johnson, give me more than 15 seconds. My ring battery might not be working in my device. Louisville Mayor Greg Fisher vowed to pass the ban as soon as it hits his desk. You better, Mr. Fisher. You better. This is one of many critical steps on police reform that we've taken to create a more peaceful, just, compassionate, and equitable community. Tamika Palmer, Taylor's mother, praised the passage by the city council. She spoke to the press after the vote along with the family's attorney, Benjamin Crump. I'm just going to say that Breonna, that's all she wanted to do was save lives. So with this law, she'll continue to do that. Somehow, that's why I said it wasn't good news. It's better news. It's not good news. I'm still angry. I'm still very, very angry. You still angry? Man, I'm still pissed off, man. I quit smoking a couple years ago, but I could use a cigarette. Moving right along, because we got phone lines to get to. Well, since we're talking about things that were passed recently, New York Governor Cuomo. We got a picture for this? We got anything for this? We got nothing for it. Let's go with this. Andrew Cuomo, who I don't trust, who talks as if we are here to talk today about the passing of the legislation. Like he's auditioning for something. I just all right, stay on point. Okay. Some of you like him. It's the same Andrew Cuomo who was a scumbag. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo signed into law Friday a sweeping package of police accountability measures. These measures received new backing because of the killing of George Floyd, including one allowing the release of officers' long withheld disciplinary records. Now, there's a 50-A law in New York, and I'm sure there's some equivalent to it in many other jurisdictions. You know how whenever a police officer shoots and kills a citizen, we know everything about the officer, but we know nothing about we know everything about the deceased citizen, We know nothing about the officer. You know why that is? Because of the 50-A, which seals. It seals the officer's file. This is why officers can go to the next town and get another job, Johnson. They can leave one department and go to the other department because the new department can't even look at the old record. What kind of shit is that? That's how strong the police union is. Can you imagine if you could just work at one Jiffy Lube and then do whatever you want? Pee in a coffee cup or pee in a coffee pot? Throw party in your boss's office, and then you can get fired and just, they'd seal it and you go to the next Jiffy Lube and do the same thing? Do you imagine how hard it would be to have a stable office in the Jiffy Lube community? I mean, you just imagine the type of stuff we would do at Jiffy Lube if we could just do that, what Jiffy Lube employees would do if they could just go around to all the Jiffy Lubes, causing havoc in every Jiffy Lube and get hired at another Jiffy Lube. And no one be able to know what you did at the Jiffy Lube that you used to work at. Well, that's what police officers have been able to do in New York. The measures were approved earlier this week by the state's democratically led legislature. Some of the bills had been proposed in years past and failed to win approval, but lawmakers moved with new urgency in the wake of massive nationwide demonstrations over Floyd's death at the hands of the police in Minneapolis. Make this be sure. Let's be very clear, guys. Let's be very, very clear. That's what Kamala would say. Let's be very, very clear. Very clear. It's not that George Floyd was killed. It's because you reacted to it. Let's get that right. People die all the time. Cops kill people all the time. That ain't why this is happening. It's happening because you stood up. It happened because you out there in those streets doing the damn thing. That's why this happened. That's why. It's not because George Floyd died. Hell, Eric Garner died. Tamir Rice died. Botham Jean died. It's not because he died, because it was filmed, you saw it, and you reacted, and you did shit. That's why. And they scared. That's why it happened. Punk ass. Don't give me that. You ain't going to back into it. You're not going to back into change and act like you did it because you're chivalrous and you give a fuck. No. Hold up, guys. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Please, none of you. Wolfpack members, Tim Black's Wolfpack, please, guys. Johnsons. Don't you fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Don't you for a second think they're doing this because they care. They're doing this because they have to do something. Because if they don't do something, we will burn this motherfucker down. They're doing this because we're in those streets. They're doing this because we are protesting. They're doing this because there's been a backlash that would not end. Roger Goodell of the NFL didn't recant his message and now all of a sudden support Black Lives Matter because it's the right thing to do. It's been the right thing to do. Tamir Rice had his brains blown out, man. He was 12. It's been the right thing to do. Andy Lopez got smoked. He was 13. It's been the right thing to do. The white guy in the hills of New Mexico, the homeless man, they smoked his ass. They lit him up like a Christmas tree with a pocket knife. It's been the right thing to do. Don't tell me you did it because it's the right thing to do. America's never doing anything for the people of this country because it's the right thing to do. We got homeless people freezing in the winter on the sidewalks. The right thing to do would be house them and you don't. So don't tell me you're doing this because it's the right thing to do. You're doing it because you ain't got no fucking choice. Don't let them get away with nicing your ass, rubbing you on the top of your head and telling you, you good little boys and girls, you did a good thing. Now go home and sit down. Don't let them get away with it. I want what's best as well. I disagree, but I care immensely about this cause. I want us to succeed. I am not your enemy. And as your friend, as your Uncle Tim Black, don't fall into a false sense of security that these people have now seen the light. The light has been there. Light's been bright than a motherfucker. All right? You got to wear polarized glasses to even look at it. It's been going on. People knew it. People knew it. Come on. People knew. They saw Walter Scott get shot in his back. They saw that cop plant that gun. They saw it. You don't think they saw that? He owed child support, son. He hadn't shot anyone. He didn't hit up a liquor store or rob a bank or kidnap some white kids. He ran from his car with a broken tail light. And they shot him 5-6 times. Then they planted evidence. So don't tell me all of a sudden they got religion. Enough with that story. There's other stuff too. They're going to ban chokeholds. New York should have been banned chokeholds. They choked out Eric Garner and they didn't ban the chokehold yet. So Cuomo, shut your ass up. Acting presidential, Al Sharpton kissing his ass. That should have been done 4 years ago. Maybe then my friend Erica Garner would still be here. She wouldn't have stressed herself into an early grave. You scumbag. Fake ass Al Pacino. All right. Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Johnson. Come on, Johnsons. Speaking of banana in the tailpipe. Joe Biden. Woo, Joe Biden. They asked Joe Biden. He was on a... This is not going to work, Johnson. This is not going to work. We're screwed. We're screwed, y'all. Yeah. No. Maybe it's necessary.
Start your show now, press 1. To hear important instructions, press 2.
Since it appears you're calling back into a live show, we are reconnecting you now.
You guys okay? I need a breather, right? Adrenaline level. Amped, right? Okay, apparently we're good now. Okay. Joe Biden was on the live stream with Ed Gordon, I think it was, from BET. And they were having a conversation about, Joe Biden and, Joe needs votes. And somehow Joe Biden was able to remain awake during this conversation. And there was a question that Ed Gordon posed to Joe Biden that Joe Biden did not answer sufficiently to some. Now, Joe Biden was asked this. During a virtual town hall event with the NAACP on the chance to endorse reparations for Black Americans, saying that such a package must also include Native Americans. Presumptive presidential candidate Joe Biden said Wednesday he was in favor of paying slavery reparations to African Americans and Native Americans if studies found direct cash payments to be a viable option. So let me say that again, because that sounds really janky, didn't it? Okay. There's Joe Biden. Will you do slave reparations for the descendants of slaves? Will you do that? And he said, well, he's open to the possibility if it will include Native Americans and a study can be done that is viable. What I don't like about this is a couple of things. One of the things I don't like about it is I don't trust Joe Biden as far as I can throw Joe Biden. I've never heard him once even discuss any form of reparation, anything in the vicinity of reparations. So, I don't know, little flimsy on the whole Joe Biden now wants to provide reparations. Okay. But then if we say, okay, maybe he just wants to be elected, Tim Black, so he'll say anything. That's one thing. That's one side of the argument. The other side of the argument is maybe he will do anything to be elected. I don't know. It's his third time running for president. Maybe he's serious. But the other thing that has me concerned about this is, and I'm sorry, but what the hell does black people have to do with Native American people? Yeah, like, hey, don't get me wrong. Native Americans deserve whatever they fight for to get and whatever America owes them, which is a whole lot. I don't even know how you pay people back for taking their country and committing genocide on them. I don't even know what that looks like. Okay, like, don't get it twisted. I support indigenous people. I support Native Americans getting justice, as I'm sure Native American folks support African Americans or black Americans, American descendants of slaves. I'm sure they support us in our quest to get justice, and in our quest to finally, like, get, some type of mitigation to this situation for generation upon generation that we've endured. So, but don't pit us against each other. Don't make it a package deal. We're not a package deal. You don't ask the Jews to throw in with the Vietnamese or with Asian Americans that you put in internment camps. You're not saying, well, we'll definitely do something about, the Jews that we could have helped, but we dragged our feet and told their boats to go back when they came to Ellis Island. Yeah, when the first Jews tried to get into Ellis Island, we was like, nah, we good. That's your problem. Turned them right around when they tried to flee Germany, flee the Nazis. History's not totally accurate on a lot of this shit. But the bottom line is, when we did start giving money to Jewish folks, we didn't also demand that we give money to Asian folks who we put in internment camps, citizens of this country. So what I'm saying is, yes, it's morally correct that Native American folks deserve to be compensated, somehow made whole as whole can be. I don't even, like I stated, I don't even know what that looks like, man. And I support them, and I will stand with them, and I will help promote and help back up their claims for what they deserve. If that's the route they want to go, fine. But do not lump black folks in with that. Joe Biden, if you don't want to do shit, just say you don't want to do it. Just say you don't support it. Do not give us hurdles to vote over. We do not need hurdles. This is not an Olympic race. This is not a battle, survival of the fittest, or who's the most grieved. Don't do that to us. If you're not interested in supporting reparations, just say it. You slimy, shifty snake in the grass. Admit it. Stand up and admit that's your situation. But do not play us against one another. Our lives, our histories, our ancestors have been through far too much for you to do that. That's unacceptable. That is beyond callous. That's unforgivable. Do not pit one disenfranchised group against another disenfranchised group to create only more ill will for you just not to do anything. I don't see Joe Biden doing shit, but even the language of doing, even the window dressing of doing something is enough to turn people against one another. And I don't think that's good, guys. I don't think it's good. And I haven't watched anybody. I don't watch other people to find out what their opinion is or whatever before I give my opinion. That's why sometimes it's wrong, frankly. Because sometimes people know more than I do. Probably a lot of times they know more than I do. But I will tell you, I don't think anybody's more real, more honest about what they do know, about what they do feel, and have less filter from here to here than I do. And I'm just saying. But I got a feeling that people are already saying really negative shit about Native Americans and what they did and this and that, and they didn't help us. And we don't even need to have that conversation, because We should not allow Joe Biden to manipulate us in a way that's going to pit us against Native American brothers and sisters. We don't need to do that. We don't need to fall for it. Joe Biden, if you want to help black folks, you want to give slave reparations, that's separate from Native Americans. I support their cause as well, as I'm sure they support ours. Is that clear enough for everybody? I hope so. Hope that makes sense. I gotta reboot this. I don't know what to do. We're almost done, guys. Oh, I gotta talk about this because this is lighter, but I gotta talk about this. Okay. It's kind of now this one. Anybody recognize this? You got pictures there of Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel pretending to be black people. Okay, we got Jimmy Kimmel up top there. He was pretending to be Karl Malone. And down below you got Jimmy Fallon pretending to be Chris Rock. Okay? And some people say Jimmy Fallon said what Jimmy Fallon said about the blackface scandal. And look, this came to my attention when I was on a podcast recently with John Fugelsgang and Clay Aiken, Politicon podcast. And I didn't even know about it because I didn't pay attention. Clay Aiken was like, hey, this thing they're talking about, Tim Black, they're talking about this thing here. I don't understand, Tim Black. They're talking about Jimmy Fallon and blackface in 2000 that he wore, and Chris Rock was right there, and it's just crazy. We need to worry about these police, don't we? What do you think? And I was like, well, I don't know anything about it. Yeah, I would think so. So here we go. Here goes my full comment to this, just because I was on the podcast and didn't know anything about it. Jimmy Fallon received criticism from many people on Twitter on May 26th after footage emerged of the chat show host playing Chris Rock in the 2000 Saturday Night Live sketch. After the hashtag Jimmy Fallon is over party began trending on Twitter, Tonight's show host issued an apology on the social media app. He wrote in 2000 with SNL, I made a terrible decision to do an impersonation of Chris Rock while in blackface. There is no excuse for this. I'm very sorry for making this unquestionably offensive decision, and thank you all for holding me accountable. So apparently that wasn't good enough. People were still dragging Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy Fallon, later he did another show about it. Jimmy Kimmel did it as well. Jamie Foxx, who's a friend of Jimmy Kimmel, he spoke out on behalf of, no, he's a friend of Jimmy Fallon. I don't know if he's a friend of Jimmy Kimmel, but he's a friend of Jimmy Fallon, definitely. He spoke out for Jimmy Fallon. He said, bro, you ain't got no reason to apologize for shit. You are a comedian and a great one at that. You did an incredible impersonation of Chris Rock. It was not blackface. Fox went on, we did a show called In Live of Color where we did characters from every race. You are all the way good. Keep doing you, my friend. You are necessary. And then in another segment, in another comment, Fox said, some of y'all didn't even see the sketch. Relax and laugh. It's other motherfuckers out here that really don't care about y'all. Use that energy for them, but leave my mans alone. All right. Hey, Jamie Foxx, man, I like you, Jamie Foxx. I enjoy your work. I loved you as Ray. I like Django. I liked you in Living Color. You know, good job. Like, hey, good stuff. And I like the fact that you are friends with Jimmy Fallon. And I do agree. Okay, but let's not act like people can't get criticized. If this was somebody you didn't like, would you be as complimentary? Would you be as dismissive of the charges? You probably wouldn't. I'm not saying you shouldn't be dismissive of the charges. All I'm saying is, obviously you're a friend of Jimmy. That's why you're speaking up. You said he was your man's. Now, if it wasn't your man's, would you be as nice about it? I don't think you would. So turn down the volume a little bit. to Jimmy Fallon, and it's to respond to Clay Aiken, I'll say this, bro, now that I had the full context. I ain't tripping off this. No, you shouldn't wear blackface. But considering it was 20 years ago, Chris Rock was there when he did it. It was on a show Chris Rock was on, and they all was there laughing. I guess I can't say he did it with malicious intent. I have to guess he didn't do it maliciously. And as much as people hate to admit it, context matters. Malicious intent matters. If you are a friend of mine and you imitate me and you my friend, I don't know if I don't have a problem. I'm not saying you should do it. You definitely would not do it. Jimmy Fallon said he would not do it again. He wished he didn't do it then. But we can't go back in time machines and change shit we did, whether it was good or bad. All right? Things we want to take back, things we wish we didn't do or whatever. There's no way to do that. It's up to us to decide if Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel are racist or not. Jimmy Fallon, what I suggest you do, sir, hire some more black people. Yeah, hire some more black people. I seen your writing staff. Hire some more black people. Because look, guys, at the end of the day, we need the playing field leveled. That's what we want. People want a shot at a better life. Black people overwhelmingly are in front of the camera, but not behind the camera, not behind the scenes, not in these positions. Jimmy Fallon, you are someone in Hollywood that can make things happen. Jimmy Kimmel, you have power as well. Hire more black people, give them a shot. And everybody shouldn't have to be as good as Eddie Murphy to have a career. Everybody shouldn't have to be as great as Jamie Foxx to have a career. Some people should be like me, kind of funny, and still have a career. So that's what I think should happen. I'm not mitigating. I can hear people now. You want to set everybody on fire. It won't change the things. Nothing Jimmy Fallon can do. He apologized. Either you believe him or you don't believe him. I tend to say, prove it. I think that helps more people than canceling everybody. Make them prove it. Not just by words, but by actions. All right. Last but not least, guys, because we're going to go to phone lines if the damn phones are working. I might have to step up the time of us getting this damn phone line working. Because I don't know what the hell, why shit's not working, man. I mean, I don't know why it keeps crashing like that. I really don't know. But I got one more story that this one's amazing. This one's amazing. It's loading up. You guys good? Everybody okay? Did people share this on social media? I'm kind of hoping we, kind of get their numbers up a little bit because I'm taking a break from Twitter. It's a health thing. I need to remain healthy, not let things stress me out. It's enough in the news cycle to stress me out. I don't need to be stressed out by people with names like Banana Pill 65 who totally disrespect the brother. I don't need to get into arguments like that. I see now why people leave these platforms. I can't just leave them because this is where my audience is, but I don't need to be putting myself in a situation where it's not good for me. So, yeah. I'm angry enough on these shows. I don't need to be getting angry on Twitter. Yeah, this thing is really jacked up. Something's going on. All right, I'm going to go to the next story. My last story is my favorite. You know how all these police union people, these chiefs of the union or whatever, they've been really pissed off lately. They've been arguing, complaining. I saw one literally crying. He was crying all over himself. He was blubbering. He was crying. He was panting like a baby, all pissed off, saying, "Stop treating us like thugs. Why? Why? Stop treating the New York Police Department like thugs. Why?" Yeah. He's literally was sucking his thumb and crying. "I want my mommy. I need a bottle. Why? Why are you treating us bad? You want to make me hate my profession. Why? I mean, these grown-ass men crying like they're not, because they say they're not being treated fairly. They're being prejudged. You mean these cops, New York Police Department cops, union folks, whatever, actually complaining, saying that they are being prejudged. You mean the people who prejudge everybody? That's all you do, cop guy, is prejudge every black person you see. You don't like being prejudged, though. You don't like being prejudged. But it's fine for you to prejudge. That's all you do is prejudge people. But we're supposed to look at you as an individual. You rotten scumbag. Well, Chicago Police Department is notorious in its practices of police brutality and shady practices and dirty dealings. And this some would say Chicago got its own thing, man. Well, you walking to Chicago is walking in the war zone, brother. You may forget, or you might recall, the Laquan McDonald's murder that they covered up for over a year, just so that Rahm Emanuel could be reelected, only to be summarily, basically, he was dismissed, but he left on his own accord. But he held up an investigation into the 16 shots into the body of Laquan McDonald that they all covered up. Anyway, this little thing, murder, state-sanctioned murder, cover up. Should have cleaned the whole house there. Well, they did something recently that pissed people off. Here goes the clip of what happened just very recently during the riots or protests or the uprising.
You are. You know what you did? Don't make us come find you. Come in, identify yourselves, but we will find you.
Tonight, these pictures are shaking up the Chicago Police Department. Officers on duty, relaxing, drinking coffee, some even helping themselves to something to eat during the recent protests. The surveillance video was captured in the early morning hours of June 1st as protests occurred throughout the city and within blocks of the lounging police, following the death of George Floyd in Minneapolis. It all happened inside longtime Congressman Bobby Rush's campaign office. People broke into the office, but once they were gone, 13 officers sat and lounged inside for as long as 5 hours.
One was asleep on my couch at my campaign office. One had his head down on the desk. One was on his cell phone. They even had the unmitigated gall to go and make coffee for themselves and to pop popcorn, my popcorn, in my microwave.
Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot and the city's top cops say these pictures betray the work of other officers. Tonight, while investigators work to identify the officers, the police issued a statement which in part says, at the request of Chicago Police Superintendent David O'Brown, an internal investigation has been opened into the police response and actions that took place from the late evening of May 31st, 2020 into June 1st, 2020 at Congressman Bobby Rush's campaign office. 3 of the officers seen in the video are wearing white shirts, indicating they are supervisors with the department. Tonight, the superintendent delivering a stern warning.
I'm not playing with you. That I mean what I say when I say we're going to hold you accountable and that your behavior reflects my leadership and it reflects all of your leadership. Move, get out of the way, but we are going to uphold the nobility of this profession.
The mayor was already pushing for statewide licensing of police while seeking to rebuild trust in the black community and is sure to cite this video moving forward.
And I can tell you one thing for certain. Not one of these officers will be allowed to hide behind the badge and go on and act like nothing ever happened. Not anymore. Not in my city, not in your city.
I'm sorry. All right. I'm sorry. You're the unmitigated gall. That bastard's eating my popcorn. eating popcorn in my office using my microwave. My popcorn. I want to pimp slap the hell out of these cops. This is like on a list, on a scale of bad shit the Chicago Police Department has probably done, and 100 being the worst vile thing that could possibly happen, and 0 being just normal shit, this would be like a 5. Yeah, this is like a 5. Hey, Lightfoot. Go through all the records of your cops who have been handsy with the ladies. Open up the records and look at them and publicize that. Then go through, all the officers that are employed there in Chicago and find the ones that have claims of assault filed against them by citizens. People that pay your salary and their salary. And then publicize those. See, I don't much give a damn about popcorn. Don't get me wrong, it's a nice treat when you're watching a movie like a Dave Chappelle Netflix special called 846. But there is much bigger fish to fry in your back, right there in your backyard, sister, for you to be talking about damn popcorn and people being lazy. And yeah, it's disrespectful as hell. It's disrespectful, but come on. Let's keep it 100. You and I know, Lightfoot, that there's some dirty flatfoots in that office that you need to be dealing with that, not dealing with this. Superintendent, whatever your name is. Looking like Malcolm Jamal Warner with a haircut. My brother, let's not act like you really gonna be tough on the cops. I know it's a season to pretend that you're trying to get even. It's the season to pretend that you are all in, that you gonna make amends. Look at you showboating, showing your ass. Come on, man. Who are you fooling? Is there a single person in Chicago that's actually buying that this superintendent is going to stick his foot up somebody's ass for eating some popcorn and not doing their job? Hell, I'm glad they weren't out there doing their job. They probably would have been shooting kids with rubber bullets in the forehead. Because that's really how they get down, ain't it? Them not being on the streets at that time, as bad as it was, right? As lazy as it is, as horrible as it is, that they would shirk their responsibility, may have saved some rioters, some billy clubs to the head, because we saw how y'all were rolling. Now, the guy laid up on your desk or your chair, Bobby Rush, I feel you, bruh. I feel you. I'd be pissed off, man. That's like your home. Somebody in your house laying up on your couch. Hansel, what is this? The Three Bears, whatever, who came back to the house and somebody was sleeping in my bed, and that somebody's still there. I understand you pissed off about it, man. Don't get me wrong. I get it, Mr. Rush. Representative Rush, I get that. But, brother, this performance, and that's all it is a performance. Y'all all taking classes out of Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, and Jim Clyburn book. This is bullshit. You forgot your kente cloth. All of you. Where's your kente cloth? It seems to me like a big-ass production. Oh, we're upset about this thing, which no one will be fired for. That's really not that bad. It's not really, it's bad, but it's not like, it's not like they killed somebody, which they have done. Don't lie to me. Don't y'all have like a black site y'all take people without even charging them, where you tune them up a little bit? Don't they have that in Chicago? Where you take people to this building that's sort of off the grid and you beat the brakes off them? Isn't that Chicago? Isn't that what happens? I've heard things about Chicago Police Department. None of that has to do with popcorn, people sleeping for 5 hours, anything like that. It's embarrassing. It's shameful. It shouldn't be done. But hell, you dismiss other issues that they do are far worse, and you don't investigate. So, folks, all I'm saying is we cannot fall for the banana in the tailpipe when they get performative like this, when they do shit for display. We do shit because don't fall for that. And there's a video, there's a tape of Lightfoot saying some things, like talking like she wanted to sick the police to beat the hell out of some protesters, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, okay. Bobby was pissed. Bobby did a good acting job. He was pissed off. He may be pissed off literally. He did have on his kente cloth. What am I talking about? He had on that dashiki vest. Oh, the unmitigated gall. You know what's unmitigated gall? For y'all to pretend like y'all really in there fighting for the people. I don't believe that all of y'all are. Mr. Rush, I don't know you that well, but anybody who's been around the Democrats or been in the party as long as you have, I gotta look at you with the side eye, bro, because I know there's no way they would let a real change agent be amongst them that long. They would have got rid of you, bro. They done got some dirt on you and did something. They had to. They would have to. They don't keep nobody around that means well for the people. They would have been got rid of you, so I know something's going on. And what I do know is there are further-reaching implications, situations that have been conducted in that police department that you are not talking about. Meanwhile, you're talking about this. All right. Everybody's stupid, man. I wonder how many people report on this story act like this. Oh, my God, I can't believe it. The cops are eating s'mores. Bastards. All right, guys, I'm going to try to go to this phone line, man. Okay, guys, here's the thing. Tomorrow, we're going to start a GoFundMe for a phone system. I got my eye on something. We're going to figure out what it's going to be. What's happening here is bad. I don't want to just continue to upgrade PCs if we need hardware. Okay? This could be a PC issue. I didn't upgrade this particular PC. Maybe I need to. But I'm also thinking maybe it's time to get an in-house phone system. So, thinking I do a GoFundMe for that because, really, man, the phones are so important to this show. I cannot rely on Blog Talk Radio if we're going to have a show tonight. You feel me? I just want to rely on, did I pay the bill? You know? I want to rely on that. I don't want to rely on Blog Talk Radio. Blog Talk Radio is not working. It must be on your end. Goodbye. They don't ever answer questions, Johnson. Hey, the phones went down. What happened? My phones were working. This must be on your side. I didn't even tell you when yet. I know, but it must be on your side. I didn't even tell you what time, what day. You don't even know my IP address, no nothing. I know, but it must be on your side. Good day. So, I don't like that. Get what I'm saying? I don't like that. All right. Let me just go to the first phone call I see here in the queue, man. It's ridiculous. I'm not going to take a break yet because we need to get to the phones. He hasn't hung up on me yet. 410. 410, you live. What's your name? What's your comment, 410? Can you hear? Hello. $410. That means they can't hear me. That's what that means. Oh. That took a long time.
We did.
Hey, could you hear me, 410?
Mute.
Hey, Mystical, can you hear me? Guys, I'm beginning to think maybe this is a PC. I don't know, man. It's too ridiculous. I'm going to try one more time, guys, because you've been here this long. We got people on the phones. I don't know. Maybe I need to really consider this. Like, what we're going to do. Phone lines are an important aspect to the 10 Black Wolfpack. It's important that we have these working. We can't mess around, guys. We can't mess around. We got to be reliable. We got to be able to provide that service. So that's what we'll do. We'll start to go from it. We'll work on it. We'll work on it. I'll start it tomorrow, guys. And look, we're only talking like a couple grand will get us a new system. Get us a dedicated phone system. But we're considering how many phone lines we get, like all this stuff we have, It's a lot to it. It's getting a phone system not that easy. But as you can see tonight, you heard all those hang-ups and pickups. What the hell? Lord, man. All right, man. We're right back.
Start your show now, press 1. To hear important... To start your show now, press...
Since it appears you're calling back into a live show, we are reconnecting you now.
Hey, 410, can you hear me?
410, can you hear me?
410.
410.
Mute.
Hey, 617, can you hear me? Hello. 617. Hello. 617.
Hey.
Hey, can you hear me through the phone?
Can you hear me, Tim?
Can you hear me through the phone?
I can hear you, Tim.
You can. Okay. All right,
Yeah.
brother. Hold on 1 second. Let me bring us back online there. Thank you for your patience, brother. Hold on 1 second.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay, guys. Looks like we're okay now for the moment being. I have 617 on the line. Go ahead, 617. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, it's Stevie from Massachusetts. I called here a couple of months ago, I think now, but I'm glad to be on the show. And man, these phone lines, man, I'm definitely going to be donating to like GoFundMe once you get that online.
Thanks, brother.
But yeah, it's actually kind of hard being the first one on. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about just, surrounding yourself with people that will hold you accountable to kind of push you forward. It's that like kind of spiritual community that actually allows you to have more people to like bounce your ideas off of and stuff. And, this is why I really like calling into your show, Tim, because I know you're not afraid to put your callers straight if they're, not, with the program, I guess you could say. I was listening last week, and you were, holding back against some of the other callers who, other Irish callers. We'll just leave it at that. But because, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, I also wanted to mention, surrounding yourself with these people, because in the future we're going to continue to be surrounded by this technology that's going to be, manipulating our opinions and influencing us in ways that are, for their own profits. It's, Google, Amazon, Facebook, all these big entities that are collecting our data for the purposes of shaping our, it's mitigating loss by our uncertainty. So their end game is really to control our behavior to a T, because any of our actions space right now, I feel like I've took some notes down, and it can be difficult to.
Yeah, we're gonna have to shut it down, man, because I don't think I have the patience, frankly. Sorry guys, that's crazy. The phone line's not working, so it's what it is. I'll get this sorted. I have to. I don't know. Well, the solution is not Windows software. It's something else. Okay, so let me now go to my comment section and see what we got. I'm sure people have been commenting. And those people definitely deserve for me to read their messages out, even if the phone system isn't working. And it doesn't appear to be. First of Descent. Hope all is well, Johnson. Proud to be a member of the pack. Says First of Fist of Descent. Okay, you should, yeah. Yeah, I don't really, yeah. Roger Meadows. Finally seen the hate you give. My heart was in throw throughout. Roger Meadows says, I finally seen the hate you give. My heart was in my throat, I guess, throughout waiting for other shoe to drop. These cops, boy, I tell you, if it wasn't for Regina Hall's fine self, I don't know how I would have made it through. Okay, Roger, I think I get you now. Audio Funk Dialect said Tim Black's channel is throttled. That's how you know it's damn good. Red Forest, thank you, Red Forest. Kip Winter, Tim Black matters. Yeah, it does matter. Thanks, brother. Thanks, Kip. Thanks, Roger Meadows. First thing I remember from Infotech days is that no matter how far we go in tech, the hardware world always beats the virtual software world. Get that analog phone line if you need to, bro. That's it. That's exactly what Will and I have been discussing, man. Cheryl Tyler, we can never lose our sense of outrage ever. I hope I brought it tonight. They made me outraged. The more it's like with me, the more I think about how they try to fool us, Cheryl, the more it makes me seethe. You know, it makes my blood boil especially when I feel like they think we're idiots. Like I'm like, you truly believe that we can't see through this crap? That's how little you think of us. Ramona, changing police practice is a paradigm shift in policing in America, or policing in America. Seattle took back a part of the city because we see they don't care for the people. That's it, Seattle, Washington. Now no looting, and we're watching 13, etc. in the riots. Sirius says, fight the power, we must win. I won't quit, end police corruption. Oh, Oopsie said, I'm sending money for a new phone service. Thank you, Oopsie. Karen Webster says, I support you, Tim. Keep the flame on them. Ruth P., cops can't handle profiling. No, they can't. They can't, but they love to do it, don't they? Yes, they do. That's their thing. Who said that? Ruth P. Aditi Hyder. Keep it up. Thank you. Rev Marie says, blue is the new black. The FOP, Fraternal Order of Police, is saying, we were set up, abandoned, there by their superiors and seeking refuge for long hours. Rev Marie just gave to the phone. Thank you, Rev Marie. So did Ramona for your stress and your phone lines. Thank you, Ramona. I appreciate you guys. We're going to get it. We're going to do it. Maya, new member. Maya's a new member. Thank you, Maya. Sheldon's back in the house. GoFundMe is a great idea. We're all in this together. We're all the wolf pack. Thank you, Sheldon. Yeah, I'm going to start it. We're going to get a hard phone line going. I'm going to have to bring Comcast as my provider. Bring Comcast in here and say, just get me, I need to get set up. I got to pick out the hardware, make sure it's compatible. You know, it's a process. It seems daunting, but once it's done, we control it. Eric says, Tim, I do IT networking and PBX phone system support. Shoot me an email, revotries@gmail, and I can give you some tips about equipment, set up, and help you fix the headache. Hold on, man. Revotrise. All right. Got you. I wrote it down. Got it. I will email you. R.S. Pinado. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thanks, Johnson. K2 Shy. Hey, Tim, phone line fun. We will not be silenced. No, we won't. It's crazy how this is happening, right? Roger Meadows, Harrison's win in South Carolina to go up against Lindsey Graham in November proves my previous point. Media placing racial representation over issues. Rep can't stop talking about changing racial demographics in South Carolina. Princess Queen. I think the GoFundMe is a great idea. I hear YouTube takes 30% of Super Chat money. I prefer you get the most possible. You're right. They do take 30%. Squared for hire. Tim speed test another machine. You're using voice over P, VOP. Let's see what we got. Yeah, you know what? Let me do that. Let's do a speed test, my friend. So I got a new router, man. It's a very good router. Asus router, the mesh. We're getting, this PC is clocking 87.5 megabits download with 35.4 megabits upload. So it's not a speed issue. Dude, man. What dude, man, say? Dude, man. Chilling into the phone line fun. I'm happy to hear it's working now, but still a new phone line is a good idea. It stopped. It crashed, man. I ran the test again, still very fast with 94.3 megabytes per second down and 36.5 up. So it's very fast, man. It's very fast. Yeah, the bottleneck is not my router or my modem. I appreciate you, Tim. A couple dollars towards phone fund. Sending big peace and aloha from the Big Island, says Deb V. Thank you, Deb V. Guys, hey, this is just a bump in the road. We're gonna get it fixed. We're gonna come up with a new solution. We're gonna go analog. I think this may be a PC issue as well. Be honest with you. I mean, that box, I've had that box for a while. I bought a new main PC for the streaming, but I didn't buy a new PC for the phones. I'm thinking, I don't need to upgrade that. It's fine. But something's going on, so we need to go analog, and we need a new PC over there. That setup needs to be new. I bought that PC probably in 2014, 2015. So I've had it for a while, and it was never that great to begin with. But I don't use it for anything else. I don't really surf the net on it. Just go to blogtalkradio.com. That's it. That's all the use it gets. It's just for phones. And you would think a Windows 10 machine with 16 gigs of RAM with a hard drive, with don't do anything else on it, it'd be okay. But I don't know. What else, guys? What else? I don't want to talk about tech stuff. We over here, we supposed to be talking about the fight the power. What's up, Will? Hey, Joey. Love the show. You're bringing back the forum of the ancient Greeks. I watched the Chappelle special, and it was powerful. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Thank you. Davey Salt. What's up, Davey? Davey Salt. What'd you say, Davey? Breonna's law has no teeth. Won't stop the no-knock raids. They try and sweep this under the rug. It won't stop it. I thought they just did away with them. Yeah. You know what? I'm not surprised. I'll look further into it. According to what I read, I guess I need to look at the actual measures themselves, right? Yeah. Because they'll tell you, by and large, man, media will print. They'll print whatever is necessary to print, that favors get done all the time. In the media, unless they want to make us think about it, they'll just run with the narrative that's given to them, right? So I have a vested interest in getting to the truth on it. So let's do that. I find it hard to imagine that everyone on that council is willing to just let this go, but yeah, let's look into it. I'll look into it. There's some disrespectful shit going on, man, in Louisville. They won't even put that woman's cause of death or any details on their incident report. And they still have jobs. How you going to have an incident where you shoot off 20-something rounds and it's not even listed in the incident report? Maybe that's common practice. I don't know. Just seems a little weird. Why have incident reports that when there's an actual incident, you don't have to report it? Seems strange, man, but hey, there I go thinking, there should be rules. What's up, Oopsie? I don't know. People have to follow certain criteria. I'm going to let it go. I want to thank everybody who helped out tonight on the show. I'm so sorry about these phone lines. We were really getting some momentum. And just like that, here comes another obstacle. But you know what? I've had so many obstacles, guys. I want you to know what I do for real. I'm going to tell you something. Part of, if anybody out there wants to do what I'm doing or anything I do, you get any type of inspiration, it makes you feel like you can do stuff. Let me tell you something. 90% of it, you know that saying, 90% of winning is showing up? That's all I keep doing is keep showing up. I'm going to be honest with you. I just keep showing up. No matter what the obstacle is, I just keep showing up. YouTube stopped sharing my videos, I keep showing up. People trolling me on Twitter, I just keep showing up. Somebody write a hateful article or do something to me, just keep showing up. Get disappointed the elections, keep showing up. People leave, people go, keep showing up. People throwing salt on your name, keep showing up. That's all it is, man. People, it's not rocket science, man. It's keep showing up. So I want to thank everybody who keeps showing up with me, because none of this is able to be done without you. And that's not me just being a nice guy, me saying things that you want to hear. It's just the truth. What we do here is funded by the people. The people provide it. And that's the way we got to keep it if we want it to stay righteous. So I appreciate you, my callers who couldn't get through. I'm so sorry about that. We will do a marathon. When we get this done, we'll do a marathon phone something, And we'll do something crazy. We'll do something crazy with the Tim Black Wolfpack when this is all cleared up. Thank you for my moderators in the chat. Everybody stay safe. Princess Queen, thank you as well. Get a new PC. 2014 is ancient in PC world. I guess it is, It's just a PC for phones. But you're right. I get another PC over there. I'll do that. All right, guys. Email me at timstake2@gmail.com. timstake2@gmail.com. You won't find me on Twitter much, but you'll find me on Facebook occasionally. And that's how you reach me, via email. Email me. Don't post on my Facebook fan page. Email me if you're trying to get in touch with me. All right? That's the best way to do it. Hey, look. I could say write me a letter. Email's better, though. I got love for you. Be safe. Don't let nobody take your cornbread. Sprinkle some facts on them. Don't be stressed out. We're in this together. I'm not going nowhere. We're still here. We're still a crew. We're still family. This is still a community. And we got a little bump in the road. We're going to get over it, like we always do. Peace, y'all. Tim Black Show is brought to you by you. That's if you're a member of the show, because that's how we pay the bills around here. We don't take donations from big corporations. We don't rock with any political parties. We are people powered. So become a member of the Tim Black Wolfpack by going to patreon.com. Tim's Take Live. Join up, become a member there. Email me at timstake2@gmail.com. That's timstake2@gmail.com. Join our VIP text list. Just text the word cornbread, one word, cornbread. You know that stuff. You put butter on it, and you put it in the oven. You take it out of the oven, put some more butter on it. It's bad for you, but it tastes good. Type cornbread to code 21,000. That's how you join. Let's get together on the next one. I love you. Be safe. Peace, Wolfpack. Good night, Johnson.